Today on Nourishing Beauty, we will be making pan-grilled ribeye steak and mashed cauliflower.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Chica.
I'm Moria. And welcome to
Nourishing Beauty.
So if you've already been tuning in to our series, then you know what we're about to do. Well, she's about to cook and I'm about to watch and taste test.
Yes,
Hopefully help the way I can. She's teaching me. I promise I'm paying attention. All right, go ahead.
All right. So today, what we have for you is pan-grilled ribeye steak with mashed cauliflower. And so this is like a home style, just a comfort meal, yet still good for you. We use a good quality grass-fed ribeye steak, good color, and we're using organic cauliflower because it's one of the vegetables that you should always buy organic because, it's the pesticide is reduced. Set the temperature to medium. And what we have is about a pound of cauliflower. So this is about 16 ounces or a pound. And then we're working with about a quarter cup of bone broth. And so put the bone broth in the pan. Can you give me a spoon?
Sure.
Thank you. Perfect.
See?
Thank you. So you go ahead and just scoop everything out, get all that goodness. So we're gonna get the top of the pot. There we go. We want that liquid to get hot so that it's ready for our frozen vegetable. And so now our liquid is pretty hot, it's boiled. So now we can go ahead and add the frozen cauliflower. Now that it's in there, we can go ahead and top the pot again, and keep the heat on, keep the heat on low. So put it on low, and it's gonna cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. And you'll know it's done when you can easily break or pierce with a fork one of the cauliflower pieces. So the type of steak we're using today is ribeye. I'm not really measuring much. It's just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle to your liking. And so I'm going to just go ahead and spoon a little bit of the coconut oil onto the steak.
What do you look for when you go to purchase a steak? What are you looking how do you determine what a good steak is?
For me, a good steak is one that is a nice color.
Okay.
A good red, color. You don't want any steaks that are brown.
Okay.
Some grocery stores will have that. But again, if you're shopping at a quality grocery store, they make sure to only have the best products. Okay.
I'll sprinkle as you tell me to.
Right. So Mariah has the thyme. So go ahead and sprinkle the thyme.
All right.
And I have the sage. So we're gonna just kind of just coat it evenly. And sage and thyme are amazing spices.
Pretty good?
That looks good.
Okay.
That looks amazing. And then go ahead and do the black pepper.
All right.
And then I got the sea salt, the Himalayan sea salt, the pink salt, the best salt. Alright, so now we're over by the stove. We still have our cauliflower cooking. In fact, it is ready. 7 minutes have gone by. So there we go. Cauliflower is looking really great. So I'm going to move the cauliflower over to the side for now so that it can kind of cool down. And I'm going to put our skillet on the stove. So we're going to heat the skillet. So we're going to add about, I would say about half a tablespoon of coconut oil. Pretty much just to coat the skillet so that the meat won't stick. Pour a little of this liquid in. And it amounts to about a half of a tablespoon. And then leave it on there for a few seconds so it can heat up. Alright, so I think that's hot. So we're going to go ahead and get this seasoned, juicy steak and just lay it in the pan. So let's just do that. And you hear that sizzle. That sizzle lets you know that the pan is right. It's ready. It's heated to the right temp. And it's cooking immediately. So we have our steak cooking. And so right now it's been about 3 minutes. So I'm about to flip it. Flip it. And you can see, ooh, that color. I love that color. So we're going to have a good one.
And what were you telling me earlier about, you know, how the steak still cooks even after you take it off the heat?
Right. So people may not know this, but once the steak is off the heat, it's not done cooking yet. In fact, it can continue to cook for about 10 minutes, even while it's on the plate. And so what you want to make sure of, especially if you're cooking a medium or medium rare type of steak where it's going to be pink or even red inside, you want to make sure not to cut into that steak within the first 10 minutes of plating, or else it'll bleed out. That's when you see all the red juices bleeding out. And you kind of want to avoid that because, again, that's the moisture and that's the tenderness, the juiciness, and so if that's bleeded out, you're going to have a dry steak. And you can see some of that red is kind of on top right now. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it one last time just so it can kind of sear in everything, and then I'll plate it. So I'm going to flip it. Okay, so the steak is done, it's plated, and last but not least, we have to mash up our cauliflower, and it's ready to go. I didn't have to drain any liquid because we only used about a 1/4 cup of the bone broth. So it's a little bit of liquidy, which is perfect. We don't want too much liquid. We don't want it to be pureed. We want it to be more of a thicker consistency. Let's go ahead and add our butter. This right here is about 4 tablespoons. Let's just add about 2 tablespoons for now. And then I'm going to add in some salt. Probably about a 1/4 teaspoon. So just go ahead and sprinkle, and that looks good. And then add in about 1/8 to a 1/4 teaspoon of the black pepper. Yeah, that looks good. And then let me go ahead and mix in one last time. I'm going to just go ahead and kind of blend it in.
That is so
good. And the way it works, you just kind of, just mash it in and stop. So it's like mashed potatoes, but without all the carbs, all the starch, all the calories. There's more nutrients, more vitamin C. So yeah, and the consistency is amazing. So if you serve this at a family event, I swear they'll think it's mashed potatoes. So you'll be fooling them and treating them to a healthier option. So yeah, so we can go ahead and serve this alongside our steak. I mean, imagine if you were at some restaurant, some, you know, high fancy restaurant. A meal like this will cost you at least $30, and that's before tax and tip, right? But I made this at home in my own kitchen in less than half an hour, and trust me, this will taste 10 million times better than any restaurant steak. And you did it yourself. Kudos. All right, let's eat, Mariah. I'm hungry.
Okay. So I'm going to take some of the taters.
Taters. I love it.
I am not exaggerating. Those are, oh my goodness. Oh, that's so good. I feel like my dad acts like that. So good. And then I like my potatoes to be with my steak, so I'm going to do the same thing with the cauliflower. That's how I eat my steak and potatoes.
Right.
So eat the same.
I'm the same way. You got to eat it together.
You guys, no, I'm so serious. This is not acting. I'm so serious. Oh my goodness.
So good, right? Let me get in on this. Let me grab my fork.
so good.
Yeah.
Any questions? You know what to do. Put them down in the comments below. The description box will have any information pertaining to this that you must know. Make sure to subscribe to her on YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow us on our Instagram accounts, Facebook, Twitter. Keep in touch. Good luck. And goodbye, because I need to eat.
Bye.
Be sure to stay tuned for new episodes of Nourishing Beauty on our channels every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the month of August at 3 p.m. Pacific Time and 6 p.m. Eastern Time.